Native Honor Hours. We're back.
Welcome back. Yes, we're
We took
back.
a break
We were
last
here
week.
last week.
No, we weren't.
Yeah, we were.
Kenny, we weren't here. No. Kenny, see, she's losing it. She doesn't. No, we weren't here.
We were here
I
the
was.
week
I was
before.
heading to Dallas to see my granddaughter. And if they're watching, Grandpa says hi.
Happy birthday, Meredith. It's your daughter's birthday today.
Tomorrow.
My phone said today.
Tomorrow.
Are you
I hope
sure
it's
you know?
tomorrow, Meredith. It's your birthday tomorrow, right? The 30th? Is today the 30th? 29th. I think I'm safe.
How can you remember all your kids'
I
birthdays?
can't. I kind of do.
I
if I
can
think
remember
about
the
it.
dates, but the years.
Are you
going
gonna
to
test me?
Yeah.
September 17th.
Who's the oldest? Start
Uh,
from oldest. I want their name and their birthday. Oldest to youngest.
My oldest son, February 19th.
What
Mother-
year?
1978.
Okay. A year before I graduated from high school? Oh, no, I graduated in 76.
You graduated in 68. What are you talking about?
No, I did not.
You want me to? Really, am I going to do this? Like, this is
Yeah.
compelling radio.
No, I want to hear it. I want to
Like,
see if you can do
who is
it.
watching anyway except my kids? See, if my kids watch, like, Dad doesn't even remember my birthday,
I know.
it'd be upsetting.
Okay, then let's not do it.
May 24th.
Okay. Who is?
Then Meredith was January 30th. Carlos is April 16th. Jordan is September 17th. Sarah is May 30th. And Lexi is July 9th. And Ruben is April 24th.
Wow, good job. I would feel fine saying you still got it, old man.
Now, we got Chris. Chrissy's watching.
Hi, Chrissy. How can you tell?
What? How can I tell? It just popped up. That said, "I'm watching." Like he popped in.
Ah.
I read it. So are you semi-impressed? I think I might have gotten one or two of them wrong. Close.
You'll find out.
I know.
I know.
If it was only by a day or two.
Uh-oh.
Don't ask me what my wife's birthday is.
I can't remember the babies.
You ask what my wife's birthday is?
When is Monica's birthday?
I know.
But you two
Hers
don't,
is easy. She's a Christmas baby.
you don't do presents, right, for each other for birthdays?
No, we stopped doing that.
God.
Presents are for rookies, for
I
amateurs.
love presents. I am a present-loving woman.
I'm the present.
Oh, to her? I see. This
I'm
is why we need
I'm the
Monica
gift
here,
that
so
keeps
we can.
on giving, Kenny.
You're the gift that keeps on smelling.
I'm not opposed to that either.
So what did last week we had our circle of grandmothers. Do you realize we are past our 3-year anniversary having the circle
I
of
wasn't
grandmothers?
invited.
Because you're not.
You guys
know
went to the
what?
casino.
Yes, we did, and Mr. Papan has joined the circle of grandmothers.
He's
It was
joined it?
all the grandmothers and Mr. Papan.
Well, when you get to that point in your life, you can do whatever you want to do.
Oh, you
Who's
know
gonna
what?
tell him no?
You know why we love it? It's the buffet. That once a year, eat until you think you're gonna die buffet. Oh, it was good. Me too. The shrimp.
Let me guess. I'm guessing Gretchen had a chocolate cake for dessert.
Oh, we had desserts.
See?
I was trying to figure out how to wrap some, because Myrna used to bring Watecha bags. What is wrong with me that I don't?
You can't bring that.
I know, but we're
I know.
Indians. We
No,
can't.
no. I know of someone who got caught,
Myrna got
and got banned from one of those casinos.
Myrna was banned from Old Country Buffet for a while.
Yep, I know someone who was banned from. You just can't. You can't
But
do
those
it.
little desserts, I would have loved to have put a couple of those little yummy cheesecake desserts in my.
Oh,
place.
shall we tell our vast viewing audience where we're broadcasting from?
The beautiful CEC building on
The
the University
CEC
of
means
Nebraska.
Community Engagement Center.
The Barbara White's Community
But
Engagement
we're in the
Center.
boardroom.
I know.
So
I'm
if you-
scared to touch anything.
No, I know, not Cassie. She's sitting there trying to break all this stuff. We
I
can't.
told you not. I told you not to tell her we were
We
doing the show
can't
anymore.
break things here yet because you know who they're going to blame it on. So if you see people walking back and forth, we're in the main main boardroom and kind of taking over, huh, Kenny? You know what? That would be cool. You know how to work that?
What if we were?
You should see about having them broadcast our show. There's a huge video
Ed,
screen.
you
like-
and I have both seen our faces 8 feet big. Is that something we really want to ever do again?
I don't really care.
Oh,
For entertainment purposes, I think that would be a hit.
do you know what a wrinkle on my eyes looks really small now? An 8 foot long, the wrinkle's that long.
Wrinkles, nothing. Take a look at those ears.
Yes.
All right. Well.
So it's beautiful.
segue. I sense a segue. Powwow.
We are. You knock on wood.
No, don't knock on wood because it messes with the sound, doesn't it, Kenny?
I
I
can't
know
help
that
it,
because-
Kenny. We had to.
Because I actually listen to our shows afterwards, and I
Are you
I
impressed
find
with how
myself tapping, and you can it's really annoying. So don't do that.
Do you find yourself impressed with how intelligent I am?
No, I find myself impressed with how intelligent and how I carry the show. It's just like, what do I even have Cindy on here for? Even though my girlfriend isn't here, you still can't hit me.
I know. I was just thinking.
Nope, you can't hit me. Because she will
Well,
come
who's
back.
Cassie gonna protect you?
She'll come back.
My
she-
daughter's not here. She'd protect you.
No.
But yeah,
Powwow.
powwow. I really hate to jinx ourselves. We pretty much got our staff settled. We just have to make sure a couple people are in. We're still looking for some drums, but we've got some really good ideas. The vendors' letters have gone out. I've already put our powwow in Indian Country today. We have a Facebook page, and guess what? And an events page, 1,500 people have been invited to powwow. People are already sharing. We've got vendors already contacting us about how do I get a table. This one, I know we keep saying this, but I think this year's going to be the biggest one yet. We've got our food order ready to go. We've got everything.
Oh, are we doing the same thing we did last
yes,
year?
we are.
Pizza and sandwiches.
Pizza and sandwiches.
Man, Kenny was in heaven last year, man. He was toting away about 4 or 5 boxes of pizza last year, weren't you?
This year, though, we're ordering a whole bunch more chips. Last year, we ran out of chips.
I don't see why.
Clearly,
I
the
mean,
natives are big on chips. That was the only food complaint was that there wasn't enough
who would
chips.
complain that there's not enough chips?
Well, halfway through,
I had 10 pieces
we ran
of
out
pizza, but you
line
ran out of
we
chips.
ran out of line halfway through chips, and we weren't even letting them grab themselves.
Kenny,
I
is
had
that even
big
worth the?
gloves.
I had a couple chips, but I had 10 pieces of pizza. You're not going to get any sympathy from most common sense people.
Yeah.
Even then, there was you could have had 10 sandwiches by yourself.
Someone asked me. They said, "Did anybody ask you if you had vegetarian dishes?" And I said, "It's
At an
powwow."
Indian function,
I said,
vegetarian.
"No."
Oh, is that gluten free? No, there's no gluten free. We're gonna load up on the gluten and the carbs.
Do
That's
you
what we
remember-
do at Powwow.
Do you remember the gluten-free fried bread?
Oh man.
Oh, whatever
No,
gluten
wait,
is,
this is-
I love it.
No, this is what our faces when this is at the food camp when they made the gluten free fry bread. Oh, and this is the gluten. These little kids are making
I
this
know,
fry bread,
they're so
and they're like, "Oh, is there gluten free fry bread?" They're like,
Oh God. And it has the substance of
"That
raw.
was really
It gets-
good."
When it's in your mouth, it doesn't. It kind of like hardened. So it was, and it was like, oh my God, I like gluten. I'm not even sure what.
I love
gluten
it.
is,
I
but
don't even know
like
what
it.
gluten is, but I know if it's not in there, it
I don't
doesn't
like it.
taste good.
I have also my daughter likes to shop at that organic health store, and they were giving away tastes of gluten-free chocolate chip cookies. Yuck.
My,
Gluten-free means no good.
my daughter I went to go see last week in
Mm-hmm.
Dallas. She's on some gluten-free thing, and I go in there, and she has open up the refrigerator, and these cupcakes sitting there like, cupcakes, and it's, oh, Daddy, they're gluten-free.
No cupcakes.
Yay! Guess who's walking in the door?
Yay! Pizza
Pizza.
delivery girl.
Only time she gets that kind of reception.
I know.
Any other
No.
time it's, what?
Every time she comes over to visit me, I give her that. I even clap for
Do we have
her.
napkins with those? Because you know I'm really messy.
Okay, well, show's over. We got pizza.
We'll be back
and
with you in
done.
about 10 minutes. No, I had class today and no one brought food.
Are they all failed?
They failed.
You know what? Back to powwow.
Back to powwow.
We
We
our
will have
poster
gluten
out.
and
Oh
carbs
yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
extra chips, I
Oh,
guess.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Look at
So
those
our
guys
poster-
tear up that pizza like they never had any before.
Shouldn't the stars eat first?
I'm thinking.
Oh, Kenny.
Look
he
at
is-
Cassie Bogart that pizza down there.
She dove, man.
Yeah,
She
man.
dove.
And she's taking all the pepperonis off too.
I don't like the pepperonis either. What's
Well,
that
put
say?
that on my piece right there.
Did they
Well,
file them,
well, then
or are
I
they
thought we were
just
gonna
saying
talk
that
about powwow
we
first.
will?
That's knucklehead stuff.
Yeah. We are. It's our fourth
Oh,
year.
man,
this
that
was.
pizza
This
looks
is
good.
our fourth year doing powwow. You gonna be the
What
MC?
year?
This is our fourth powwow.
Fourth?
Are
Have
you
the
the
urban
MC?
MCs been invited?
You are the urban MC.
Have I been invited officially?
Oh, do you want us? Do you want
What's
us to
that?
bring some sage and sweetgrass
No,
over to
no,
your
because
house?
I know I'm not as good as certain other MCs that
Oh, he's throwing
powwows
around the
around
gear.
town here.
You know what? You're good enough for us.
Yeah, I know. That's because I'm free.
No, you know what? You may not think you're a good MC, but you are. You keep things moving, you're funny, and you don't let people push you around. That's one of my. I love it when someone comes over and tells you how you should be doing something. Ed just shakes his head, turns around, and walks away from them. I love you as MC.
Well, as I like to tell people, this is my house.
Uh huh.
UNO,
Yep.
this is my reservation.
Yep. And this.
No,
will
because
be-
when I go back on the res, everybody's like, oh, no, you're doing that wrong. Oh, no, we're supposed to
I
do it
know.
traditional ways, do it this way. I'm like,
my house.
but when we come here, I can say what I want to say, and I can run powwow the way I want to run
This
it.
will be your third year being our MC.
See, to me, that's the value of being here.
Yep.
This is our house, our home.
Yep.
So I
Please
don't care what
remember
you
that
say
when
to
you're
me.
in our house. Please treat it nice.
We have our own traditions here.
I'd hate to have 27 policemen coming to our powwows on a regular basis.
Look at that. They're getting drinks and plates
Oh.
and
Somebody
I'm,
trained that girl well. I wonder who it was.
man, I'm hungry.
Sarah, you want to come on the radio and say hello to
I want that
everybody?
one big piece with all the pepperonis on there.
Oh, God save it. Ed, we have to have a break. Are you ready for Cassie's
No,
corner?
I can. I think I can multitask. Can I, Kenny?
No.
I can.
No.
I can.
You know what? That and I don't. Sarah watches the show sporadically.
Kenny, can I eat and do this at the same time?
No, because one time Sarah.
All right. So is it time
Sarah
for? You know what?
literally texted
I
me.
think it's time for Cassie's corner.
Corner. Well, let's finish powwow.
Okay, we'll finish powwow. And we'll let
One time
we'll let
Sarah
Cassie's corner.
Sarah literally texted me and said, "Don't ever eat on the camera again." So that's bad. So
So what's the
so
big
this is
announcement
it.
that Urban MC is returning? To
Yes. Yes.
Powwow.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
What do you think, Kenny?
I know.
What do you think? Should I do
So
it?
actually, we have our staff set. Big announcement will be coming as soon as we get contracts signed. I'm not saying nothing till I have signed contracts. James Mincy, we can absolutely say we'll be back. People are calling. Who's going to be the head staff? It's in April. This is January. What's going on?
We must have some kind of track record or something.
You know what we are? We're a good powwow. We promote, and I did. I put it in Indian country today. We're just a good powwow. People enjoy our powwow. After 4 years, the first year they didn't enjoy my powwow.
I saw one of the posts on Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it was, I can't remember who put it on there. It said, "Oh, it's a good, you want to know powwow come up," and someone underneath there who I didn't recognize.
Lorenzo Gladfelter.
No.
said that about the Creighton one.
No. They said, someone put on there, powwow this year, and someone underneath there who commented on it said, they always put on a good powwow. and I didn't recognize the name.
Yay!
So it wasn't like someone who
Do you know what?
like Cassie or Gretchen.
None
Oh,
of
they
you
put on an
guys.
excellent powwow.
None of you guys were here the first year except me and Ed. I got this job April 1st. We had 3 weeks to put on a powwow and no funding. Ed went to, that's where your visit, which by the way, it's time for you to go visit the big dogs.
I was gonna say, does
Yep.
that mean
Yep.
you're talking here like, oh, we're on track, and we still got to get money though, don't we?
Other than that, we're on track.
Other than money to pay for everything.
Well, recruiting said 800, so I've already got 800 in.
All right. Well,
Yay, yay. But
and we
our
only
first
need
powwow,
like 20 times more
every
money now.
person in that room complained to me about something. Our first powwow. I ended up just writing stuff down, trying not to cry. Second powwow, we were better. Last year, we did not write down one complaint. Because I always tell Intertribal, write down everybody's complaints, and we'll get to them.
You know what it is? I think there were complaints. They just know it was you and me, and they're like,
We don't care.
it's not
Hey,
gonna matter.
News
They
was
don't
there
care.
last year, remember?
Who?
The News came last year.
Oh yeah, we had.
Yeah.
Did it ever make it onto the?
Yes, it
actual,
did. I saw it. It was on the
Because I
website.
thought they interviewed me, and it didn't. They probably saw my mugshot. or
No,
something.
they interviewed you. It showed you.
Did it show me?
Yeah. Yes, it did. Remember, you guys couldn't find it, but I saw it. Cassie and I saw it online. But yeah, so the News was there. This year, I'd like to have the News there again. It's a nice powwow. You know, people say, "Oh, we should have a 2-day powwow." In reality, we do, because most day powwows end at 5. They feed you, and then the powwow's done. So really, the fact that we're coming back is a 2-day powwow.
I hate to. I don't know if I want to spring this on you, but I have plans for a 2-day powwow when we get the new arena.
As long as you have plans on funding it, I'm in.
Oh, remember I told you I'm thinking
Oh, the calendar?
of ways to try to fund it.
If I were you, I'd think of finding a rich benefactor. Okay, but if we have a 2-day powwow, can we end it at 5? Then we can put it on for the same amount of money we have now. If it's a 2-day powwow, why do we have to go at night? We can do 1 to 5, 1 to 5.
No,
2
the
days.
second. No, no. We'll talk about the details later. All I'm saying is.
You know what I like him? We'll talk about the details. He's going to tell us what he thinks we should do and then leave everything else up to... Who? Sarah? Isn't she your secretary now?
Sarah knows what that's like.
We do have 2 grand entries.
Sarah will tell you I come to the meetings to have these big ideas. Oh, this is what we ought to do. Sarah,
I already
you guys
prepared her
get
for
this
that.
thing done.
That was in the pre-ed training period.
That was part of. You got warned on that, didn't you? So I don't. It's good she has.
I told her to hit you.
No, no. But
Oh.
we're.
Oh, you liked that, didn't
No,
you?
no. When we have the, I always like when people agree with me.
I know. Because it happens so often.
When we have the new arena, which is being built, we're gonna go because the chancellor.
You know what? Here's the thing.
No. Here's the chancellor's already said.
Let's see after the first day if the arena let us back in for the second day. Maybe our first
We'll
year
get
better
it in
be a
writing.
1 day.
No, when the chancellor even said, and this is what put it in my mind. He said, "Oh, this will be great once we get it in that new arena built."
You know what'll be great? Parking. Because literally that is the biggest headache for everybody.
That's how come I want to do it. Just logistically, it would be a lot easier.
Mm-hmm. And even then, if people wanted to park on campus for some reason, they could shuttle over. Because they've got the shuttles. That's where they're
See, and that's just like in Kenny's backyard,
Crossroads
too.
is going to be closed down. They're going to start running the shuttles only off that campus, out of the arena. All the UNO employees and students will park at that arena and then shuttle in.
Well, we're moving ahead with powwow. We're also moving ahead
Woo-hoo.
with tribal emergency management.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
You know what? I'll talk about it after Cassie's corner.
Okay.
Because I'm hungry.
Ladies
Cassie-
and gentlemen,
Cassie, take
I would
about
like to
10 minutes,
introduce
won't you?
Cassie Rhodes Carroll. Yay!
Okay, am I on now, Kenny? Hi there, Cyber World. Cassie's Corner here, and boy, do I have a lot to talk about today. Okay, let's get started here. Let's see. I'm going to try and do this by calendar date, if I can follow my notes. Okay, Circle of Grandmothers. We are meeting on February the 7th at 12 o'clock at UNO Multicultural Affairs Building. If you need any more information, you can always contact Cindy Krafka. Our special guest speaker is going to be Laura Langley, who is the public health nurse from the Fred Leroy Health and Wellness Center. And I know a lot of the community already knows who Laura is. She's a wonderful, wonderful nurse. So she's going to be coming and talking to our grandmothers about maintaining a healthy heart. So grandmothers out there, please come to our next meeting, which will be February the 7th on a Saturday. And as always, it's potluck. So bring your goodies. Okay, next item is we're starting another Native American book club here at UNO, and it is being titled Urban Res Native Book Club. And our first gathering will be February the 11th. It's a Wednesday at 6 o'clock in the new community engagement center. Now that's over there by the clock tower. It's the new building that was just built. And there will be parking available by the clock tower. We will be reading a very, very classic, one of the first very well-known Native American books by one of our Native American authors. And the name of the book is Ceremony by Leslie Marmon Silko. So you're more than welcome to go to the Facebook page. I have posted some questions that will make this discussion really interesting, and you're going to love the book Ceremony. It's a classic. Okay, on to our next Prime. I'm so happy to tell you Prime Time has been refunded. We will begin our Prime Time for our Native American children on April 2nd. It's going to be a Thursday this session instead of Tuesday. It's going to be a Thursday. Now it will be from 6 to 7:30. We will feed the community from 6 to 6:30, and then we will start reading our books and discussing our books at 6:30 to 7:30. There will be free transportation provided, so all you need to do is call Lori at the Willa Cather Library and ask her for transportation if you need it, and she will call the Happy Cab. I believe that's who we go through, and they will pick you up and take you home. So put that on your calendars, April 2nd, Thursday, from 6 to 7:30, and that's prime time for our Native American children and families. We do try to include children between the ages of 5 and 10, because that's what our books are geared toward, that age range. Okay, and then let's see, a couple more things coming up. There's a wonderful symposium that you guys can go to the website. That's going to be coming up in May on the 14th and the 15th, and there's going to be some wonderful, wonderful guests and lectures and speakers there, and I'm just going to name just a few here. Author Sherman Alexie will be there. National TV correspondent Haiti Kaufman. Attorney Wilson Pipeston, entrepreneur Lance Morgan, who is from the Winnebago tribe here in Nebraska. And we will have scholar advocates Winona LaDuke, Roxanne Dunbar Ortiz, James writing in, and there's going to be a concert the last evening with Buffy St. Marie. Oh my gosh, you guys need to come to see her. She's fantastic. She's one of our original Native American women activists from the 60s. She still is out there being an advocate for our people. She's from Canada, and she sings a lot of songs. So try and make that, and go to the Great Plains Symposium website, and it will give you all the information, the registration information, and all the people that are going to be talking. But before that, if you guys that love powwows, the March powwows coming up in March. So the dates for that are March 20th to the 22nd. So you know where to go find that. Just Google Denver March Powwow, and that will bring up all the information. So I know that a lot of people from Omaha love to go to that powwow. Um, let's see, and there's going to be a roundtable discussion here at UNO next month, February 4th. That's a Wednesday from 12 to 1. It's the name of the lecture or the roundtable is called Complicating Genocide, First Nations and American Indian Perspectives. And 4 of our professors here from UNO will be on that roundtable. So please join us for an interdisciplinary and interactive discussion. Students, faculty, staff, and public are encouraged to attend. So, unless I believe that covers what I have to talk about. Oh, one last thing, and I'm not just saying this because I'm involved in it, but there's been a book written through the Minnesota Humanities, and it's called Story Circle Stories, and it's about different groups that have formed some sort of circle. And the reason why I'm in it, Cindy Krafka and our Myrna Redow and Elon Cunningham, and we were the ones who started the Circle of Grandmothers, who meets once a month. So there's a story in there about our group and how it was formed and information about that. So I'm real proud to say that we will be in that book, or we are in that book, and it's called Story Circle Stories, and it's written by Rose McGee, who is a lecturer and educator through the Minnesota education program and Minnesota Humanities. So anybody out there that has information on what's going on in the Native American community, please Facebook me. I'm Cassie Rose Carroll. Please Facebook me and let me know what's going on, and we will talk about it on the UNO Native Honors radio show. That's it for today. Bye.
The nice thing about that book is how it came into being is Rose does a lot with the University of Nebraska at Omaha and does even more with OPS. Minnesota Humanities have, now you made me self-conscious. Minnesota Humanities have funded a lot of the programs that have gone on in Omaha.
Thank you, Kenny. Go ahead.
Okay. They funded a lot of really good things that go on in
I'm
Omaha.
staring that pizza up. You see that, Kenny?
I know.
Oh, man, I'm full now. I need to lay down on one of those couches.
Shut the hell up.
Give me another piece of pizza there. Yeah, I know. My grandkids are watching.
Then I would do what I told you to do, or else I'll say the word again.
You're not going to hit me either.
I might. I'll pinch. You know, oh, Sarah's sitting in here. You know what I was really good at? The underarm pinch. When they were not.
You
I
knew,
was good
you
at
knew
the
where it didn't
underarm
leave a
pinch.
mark, or they couldn't see it.
My mom did the inner thigh pinch. Ooh, man, that was a bad one. And my mom always had super long nails. And man, she would give you one of those pinches and you'd be bruised for a week.
You know,
But anyway,
I think I'm gonna have time she announces those on our show.
Clear them with who?
Me.
She clears them with me.
Oh,
The big
'cause-
dog. The
You know
top
what,
dog.
you know what I noticed about that?
What?
I wasn't on any of those.
Well, then why don't you do something announcement worthy and we'll announce it?
No,
Let's have you do something worthy. And we'd sing it from the rafters.
No, you wouldn't.
We'd make signs. Ed did something
No,
good.
you wouldn't. They
First
wouldn't.
time
They
for
couldn't.
everything.
They wouldn't do it. They'd
But anyway,
bury it.
back to Circle of Grandmothers. Our group is unique in the fact that we have no leaders, that everybody is equal, in the fact that we keep it positive. No negativity is allowed in because we all deal with so much negativity in our day-to-day life. What we are is a group of women who come together to support each other and have speakers come in and talk. So we're unique in the genre of circles because we've managed the genre of circles. To have a successful group with no leaders, we've kept it positive and we've kept it moving. And to a large part, that's because of Alon, Myrna, and Cassie, because they were all very positive women, and you were just a little bit too scared of Alon to get nasty.
You know,
So we all
you know,
did.
I am the leader of this outfit.
No, you're not. We're sorry to tell you. Even if Monica's here, she might agree with us. All we do is make sure you have pizza for the. Did you not tell her that's part of her job responsibility?
She knows now. All right. Do we have anything else? Oh, I was going to talk about tribal emergency management.
Please do. Please do.
We're going to do it. Get started. There, I'm done.
No. You know what you need to do? You need to tell the people what it's about.
Shall we have your daughter come over here?
Sure. Bring her on.
Yay! I like her better. She's much nicer than you are. I have with us our administrative associate. Not assistant, it's associate.
Or assistant, it doesn't bother me.
We'll
either
call
way.
you associate if you just remember to bring pizza. You might be senior associate. You want to tell them what's going on?
Where should I start at? The beginning?
I think most people, know. We're starting the first and only in the nation tribal emergency management program. We're merging the discipline of Native American studies, specifically the governance, law, policy components of sovereignty issues with Native American studies. Yeah. And emergency management services, which cover responding to man-made and or natural emergencies that result in how to mitigate damages and deal with important issues like energy, with housing, with all types of things that affect populations. And we're putting together a certificate.
And so with the certificate, we're going to have 4 modules, and each module will be broken into 4 classes. And the students can take it all completely online. So we're starting just in Nebraska, but it's something that we hope to extend out to all 566 tribes in the country eventually. And so right now we're in the process of creating the curriculum, and we're actually working with the tribal community colleges as well to get their input so that our certificate can actually end up becoming college credits for the students that are taking it, so they can have a certificate and be beginning to get their associate's degree from the tribal college, which eventually could potentially bring them to UNO, which would raise our numbers of Native populations here, help the Native American Studies program, potentially bring students into the emergency management program. So
Who said question? Wait till you get over here, then you can.
Would this be something good for, say, these horrible snowstorms that are going on the East Coast? Would this be something that would address how to help those tribes?
Well, it would address the issues of horrible snowstorms in the Midwest, South. I don't know if it's Southwest. No, but it's trying to deal with all of those types of things, whether it be fires, forest fires, or
Flooding.
blizzards, or heaven forbid, oil pipeline spills, or
and
know,
even
down
into
power lines, or
like epidemics and
epidemic
outbreaks
health
and
issues,
stuff like that as well.
alien invasions like 4th of July.
Terrorist
Res
attacks.
squatching, if the Squatch pop up and try to overtake entire villages, and how to respond to those types of emergencies. But yeah, we're and the reason why this is so important is because tribes have very little resources, and most of the recovery funds come from the federal government through FEMA. And FEMA requires that in order for governments to be reimbursed, that their governments have employees that are certified and or trained so that they know how to respond and utilize those dollars. So if tribes don't have the training, then it's difficult for them to qualify for the reimbursement funds. So hopefully this is a project and a program that will assist tribes in raising their capacity to respond to, but also work with FEMA to recapture a lot of those funds that are, I'm talking to academic like I am. Anyway,
And another really
purpose of that
good
is
thing
to
about it
respond to
is that we can help prepare these kids that are coming out of high school and maybe aren't quite ready to jump into a 4-year college. You know, this can be a way for them to transition into the college experience without jumping head in and becoming overwhelmed. It'll be a good transition piece, so it's something they can actually benefit from really well too. So.
Or like people like your mom.
Mhm.
She making a fool of herself? She is, isn't she? Well, but we're well on it. We're actually at the stage of hopefully getting it, we'll refer to as beta tested here pretty soon. And hopefully our goal is to try to get it out online, at least the first 2 modules by summer. Is that what we're talking? So it's well underway, and we're excited about that. And we will try to update you, but something to consider, those of you who might be looking to upgrade your marketability and your ability to come back to school in a way that we think will be a little bit more inviting for you and user friendly in terms of the method of delivery. And who knows, maybe in module 4 Kenny might be helping us with a certain project. Well, anything else for us?
I'd say that's
Oh,
it.
and I should say that's the reason why we're in the Community Engagement Center, because what we're doing is we're partnering with community organizations like Red Cross. We've heard English for them, but with tribal community colleges. We had them in here this past week to discuss the curriculum, and I think it's going to be a successful transition from the certificate to being accepted as credit on the community colleges. But also it's an opportunity for the tribal community to have a presence in this outstanding building, isn't it, Kenny? It's a really cool building, and obviously as Cassie was mentioning, Circle of Grandmothers or the book club can certainly come in and utilize the facilities, and that gives us an opportunity to provide outreach to our native constituents in terms of providing a community gathering spot. And actually having a show here fits within that mission, because we are, what are they doing? Looking at some selfie over there?
Probably.
Your last Facebook post? Look at him. Anyway, who did? Okay.
Get ready. Get your protesting shoes on.
All right. Well, we'll thank Sarah for doing it. I think your mom has changed the focus of the show. But did you? Yay, Sarah! Oh,
man.
Why?
My ears just imploded.
Remember, people, grandkids. So, did you want to talk about?
Yeah, that Rapid City is actually, there's a couple. I know, Landon's on the big screen back there. Our own Landon Heaton
Doing
is
what?
on the big, for one of the service learning projects.
Okay. It's gone.
A group of kids from Pine Ridge and middle schoolers, these kids were middle schoolers, went to Rapid City to play a game. And
To watch a game.
To watch a game, excuse me.
Watch a hockey game.
Yes. And some drunken fans, actually, right now, they're trying to blame it all on one man, which it was not. From what I understand from actual people who were there, it was a section. And they were throwing beer on these children and telling them to go back to the res. And that's not the worst racial slur that was used against them. I won't say it on the radio because I would never say it, because it was something that my mother was called. Red N-word. And that's what they were calling these children. And
What were they calling them?
Red N.
Red
N-word.
N-word. What N-word?
I'm not, oh God, don't you even try. You're the only one who has said that word on this radio show, and that's the way we're keeping it.
Red
Or, no,
Knights?
no, it's just not. But the thing is, anything
Red
about it
Knuckleheads?
until the parents and the ACLU got involved, and
Red what?
right now they're saying this man will probably, I want to wait and see before we celebrate people embracing ending racism. Let's wait and see what really happens. Let's wait and see what this man is really charged with. It's real easy to go in front of the newspapers and say, oh, they're going to be charged with this and charged with this. And then 2 weeks later, since it's a native, it'll be dropped. And I want to wait and see when these people are charged. It's the only way to stop this kind of behavior. Mr. Racist and his little beer drinking buddies should have to spend a weekend in jail. I truly believe it.
You mean a
at least.
weekend?
I think a weekend.
A weekend?
What are they going to give them? It's Rapid City. They're white against Indian kids. They're going to be lucky to get a weekend.
You know what I'd like to have a little piece of?
Yeah.
The civil suit.
Yeah.
Because
Well, you know what,
that
though?
was a luxury suite
But
that some company was in the actual auditorium.
who do you think is telling the natives this? When you come from a reservation where you don't even have to be a lawyer to be a lawyer, where you don't have to have a degree in political science. I'm qualified to be a lawyer on the reservation. So who is telling these people what exactly it is that their rights are and aren't and don't know? And then you have to make sure it's not tried on the reservation, because on the reservation, half the judges don't know what they're
It
doing.
wouldn't be tried on the reservation.
It would be equally as bad.
No, I'm thinking it'd be settled before they even got that far. Yeah. This
Well,
case?
you know, I can't imagine a parent settling. I wouldn't settle.
Yeah, you would.
No.
What
You
would
can't-
you want?
Because taking money makes it okay for someone to throw beer on your child and call them a name.
Oh no, they're gonna go to jail.
Yeah.
That's the criminal side. You want them to pay too on the civil side.
Somebody should be talking to some of these parents about suing civilly, because I would bet my bottom
Okay,
dollar
if you
they
have
don't
relatives
know.
up there, let me know.
I do, and I will.
We'll
Because,
make a trip special for you.
well, you can go to Pine Ridge, but you're no longer allowed on Rosebud.
No, not on Rosebud. No.
It's been banned from
I
every
haven't
res
been
in a
banned
50
from
in a 50
Rosebud.
county station.
If it is, it's gonna be a
just
self
you're bad
ban.
just because I told him no. It's like in my office when Ed comes in. I told my secretary push
Kenny's
the panic
bogarting
button.
that pizza. Look at that.
Look at Ed wants to end the show, but that's my knucklehead of the week. There were other bad things this week.
No, there was also, I don't know if you saw this, but another cowboy and Indian theme
Yes,
party at University
yes.
of Oklahoma.
OU.
You would think University of Oklahoma, you would know better.
Why?
You would think.
Why would you think that?
Well, because
There's a
it's
lot of rednecks in Oklahoma.
Sort of surrounded by Indian country.
But you know what I have
It
found?
was set aside for the.
You know what I have found though? I've found that Valentine, Sarah, what's straight up 85? Starts with an M. Mitchell. All those towns are the towns that circle reservations seem to me to be the most racist towns. Look at Pender. I mean, you know.
You want to know what University of Oklahoma was successful at doing?
What?
They actually developed the Dan Snyder approach.
What is that?
You know, remember how I said the Dan Snyder, the Washington litigation, their defense is that, it's not a bad word anymore, it's a good word.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Oklahoma has been successful at taking two bad words and making them good words, and everybody accepts it. You know what two bad words were?
What?
You know, Kenny?
Did we learn this in your class and I just
You
forgot?
should have. Boomer Sooner.
What does that mean?
See,
What does that mean?
well, you know, they're the Sooners, and they're like the Boomer Sooners. And if you look at their website, it says Boomer Sooners. Boomers were the really aggressive go-getters, and the Sooners are the ones that took the initiative to go out and essentially steal Indian land. But their website promotes them as just the really aggressive go-getters, the ones that know what they want and go out and do what it takes to get it. So they've
Manifest destiny.
well, they've spun it into, oh, it means a good thing. But what it initially meant was the boomers were the ones that were aggressively calling for the opening of Indian territory. They thought the Indians that were removed to Indian country, that they had gotten too much land. And they were like, those Indians have way too much land. They don't know what to do with it. It's just being wasted. You need to open that up to those of us who are going to go in there and farm it, develop it. And they were called boomers, the ones that were pressing Congress to move those Indians aside and open up that land for settlement. The Sooners were the ones who actually left. Congress ultimately did open it up for non-Indian settlement, and the Sooners were the ones who left sooner than they were supposed to. So they were the cheaters.
Oh.
Don't you ever remember how to have the Sooner schooner that comes onto the field? That is representative of the Sooners who they call the Sooner schooner, the wagon, the covered wagon that took off before they were supposed to, and they cheated.
I will tell you this now that he's dead.
So the boomer Sooner is the one who aggressively called for the Indians to get their land taken, and the boomer Sooner is the one who aggressively called for the land to be taken and then left early once it was opened up for settlement.
Well,
So they were cheaters on steroids.
now that actually all the major players are dead, I will tell you my dad and the Nebraska football team hated Oklahoma worse than any other team. My dad wouldn't let my mom go down there and watch the games. He wouldn't let her go anywhere near Oklahoma. He said they were the most ignorant fans, and I mean, they used to throw beer bottles and stuff at us in Colorado. In Florida, we had to be escorted in and out by the police. But my dad said the Oklahoma fans were the worst. They were the most ignorant. They would yell, and this was in the late 60s, early 70s. They would yell racial epitaphs at our team.
Who?
Epitaphs at our team.
Uh-huh,
Meanwhile,
epithet.
having this epithet, is it? Is
Can you look it
epitaph
up?
when you're dead?
Where's our fact checker at?
Isn't epitaph when you're dead? Your epitaph? But anyway, my dad hated Oklahoma. He hated Bear. He hated everybody, and not Bear Bryant, but he hated everybody and Oklahoma.
I find it amusing when I see on Facebook all these natives that have OU.
I know.
They're like Boomer Sooner, Boomer. Do you guys really know? Are you? You a Boomer Sooner fan? The University.
You know
of
what I like
Oklahoma.
about the Cornhuskers? They
Well,
put
see-
a big dumb white boy in overalls up there, and that's their mascot. Let's roll with that. That's why I like Herbie Huskers.
So,
white.
you're a Boomer Sooner, huh?
Kind of takes her down in your estimation, doesn't it?
I'm just saying they're the ones that wrote the playbook for Dan Snyder to take something that was very negative and it's a positive now.
See,
And-
so
and-
Cassie,
and then-
put that in your pipe and smoke it.
and then tribal people says, "Oh yeah, I'm a Boomer.
I
I
had no
really loved
idea.
it when my from Oklahoma too, aren't you? Your people. See, was you?
They're northern Cheyenne,
I'm
though,
quite-
right?
I'm
You're
quite
northern
certain.
Cheyenne. You're southern.
The one who's from Oklahoma.
Oh, then we have to.
I'm quite certain your land base was diminished over time, wasn't it? Well, see, that's how successful the Boomer Sooners were. Well, see, and that's what
They don't
what
have
happened.
Resland?
See,
Or do they have service areas?
no.
No.
See, that's how successful the Boomer Sooner was they totally displaced your land from you and your. Yeah, you did under the Treaty of 1867. You did. Then your
He's not going to
chairman-
be able to remember his own name someday, but those treaties, man, will come popping out left and right.
See, I was thinking about that, thinking how, hey, that's where Dan Snyder got it from. He got it from the University of Oklahoma.
Didn't I just share something on your Facebook about the Redskins? What was going on there?
Oh, you said the R word, but you won't say the N word.
I missed. I
See,
obviously
that's
overtired.
Double standard. See, I'm just
Wasn't
trying to
there
do away
some-
with
but
that.
I understand. Wasn't there something about the Minnesota team?
Yeah, there's a coaches.
Or, I mean, Washington.
Washington. There's a coaches association.
Can I call them the Rednecks?
No, it's not. the same.
I think it is.
But there's this group that was funded by the NFL. See, back in the early 2000, late 19, I can't remember what, and one of them got fired, or two or three of them got fired and replaced with white coaches, and there was this big backlash against it. They're saying, you know, you fire the only two or three black coaches we had, and you know, black coaches can't get a fair shot, and it got quite a considerable amount of traction, and from that, some guy named Dan Rooney from the Pittsburgh Steelers, who formed this committee, and you know, they're going to study this and create special rules on how NFL can, you know, increase the number of black coaches, and from that spring this what was it, the Pollard something Society?
Yeah.
After the first black coach was in the NFL. And this was this organization that is, she just left. RUNNOFT.
I'm still
But
listening.
their
I'm a
objective
dog.
was to make sure that, you know, the rules and the things that, you know, to encourage teams to interview black coaches were put in place. And they get funded through the NFL. And they just finally came out and said, you know, Dan Snyder, this whole name thing you got to change. It's runs counter to
He's
the.
never gonna.
No, and I know you put it on my Facebook page to, I guess, say, look, these guys are.
Well, no, I wanted to know about it because I had never heard anything about that group before.
So
at
right
all.
now, one of the rules is before you can hire a coach, you have to interview a minority coach, or a minority candidate. So if you're a minority candidate, you know, you can, you know, they'll bring you in for an interview and say, oh, we interviewed our black guy, now let's hire the white guy we want. But anyway, that's that group, and they finally said, hey, Dan Snyder, it's not cool what you're
Was
doing.
that mostly just black coaches in
NFL.
NFL? But the lower levels, like college, were integrated with black coaches much earlier, weren't they? Because I remember when Bob Devaney was here, we had Thunder Thornton. No, you know what? That was the only African American. So it was late coming to all, which is really surprising because if it wasn't for African American players, Nebraska wouldn't have won national championships. I mean, you know, if you're looking at the reality of the situation, shouldn't the coaching staff reflect?
But
their
I
players?
wasn't too impressed with their, you know.
Because it was too little, too late.
Oh yeah, they've had an opportunity to do this for a number of
Do you
years.
do you think he'll ever change it?
Do I think he'll ever change it? No.
I don't either. I think it's going to be after he dies or
Which
loses the
is
team.
good for us.
I just hope we outlive him. I just hope we outlive Dan
No.
Snyder so we can
No,
wait
he's
and
got
see
more
it.
money than us. He'll outlive us.
No.
Yeah, I know.
Have we had any of our Navajo friends be sitting up in the seats at the game? That hurt.
Oh, I was
You know,
actually
that hurt.
I was just reading an article about one of the named plaintiffs on that Redskin litigation.
You used the word.
I know because I use the other word too.
Okay.
Yeah, I did it in class. I use it.
I wish you would quit that.
I wish people would quit using.
I know, but aren't we better than that?
No,
Okay.
I'm not saying that we're not. It's not an issue of better. It's an issue of being consistent and not being
I
hypocritical.
used that word in the office today when I was so mad about the thing. I was talking to some of the kids there and they trying to make them understand, and I said they called them this, and then the African American kids understand instantly what it meant. But isn't that sad that even other minorities don't understand or get why we are?
I saw a black kid today wearing one of the black Cleveland Indian it's all black with the black Cleveland, and I was about ready to say racist, but
I have to tell you about we were back in bed.
then I was gonna say you should go talk to Mr. Freeman about that hat and multicultural, see if he approves of that.
Because Freeman now is calling people, wait till Cindy gets in here, you better get that coat off. But anyway, we went to the film festival, the OPS Film Festival, this year, and there was a parent there in a Washington jacket with the thing, and Ed leans forward and taps me and looks over there, and I think, oh, that poor guy. So the guy leaves, and pretty soon here comes Ed, and Ed doesn't get me. Ed is very calm and just kind of talks to him. So we're at Benson, and those guys went up the stairs, and me and Carol had to take the elevator. I look over, and the guy's standing in the office, and he's like, how are you? We did the hug thing, and I looked at him, and I looked at that coat, and Carol and I looked at him, and I looked at him, and I said, really? And he was so embarrassed. He wanted to die. Professor's not around, is he? I was like, upstairs.
You remembered me? Really?
Professor.
Okay. Instructional.
You're sweet, so you don't make them feel bad about themselves. You never make them feel like they're racist. You just make them feel like they don't. And when I was up in Winnebago, I was talking to the kids about what it's going to be like for them when they leave the reservation and go to schools off the reservation. And I said, you know what I learned from a professor at UNO? Educate them. Educate them in a calm way. Because if you get nasty or fight, you're always going to look bad. So I've even counted till 5 before I speak when I get that way.
Some of my big
I am the river.
reservation kids and parents.
I know.
They don't understand. I don't want to sound condescending, but they live on a reservation.
I have a theory why too.
They live on a reservation, and they're all proud of being called, the chiefs, Indians, or warriors, and oh no, no, you're not really the chiefs. We didn't call ourselves chiefs. And in the Omaha Nation, this is my
The
house.
Indians.
I can say what I
Yeah.
want to say. But they say they refer to them as the lady chiefs, the girls team. We didn't have lady chiefs. We didn't.
The thing about the reservations is what I've noticed and what I was trying to get across to these kids. You live on the res, you're in a bubble. You're in a bubble of just that res. So if it doesn't bother this one, then why would it bother this one? And if it doesn't do this, and then we can use the word chief and we can do this. But then when these kids graduate and go to school, they're leaving the bubble. And they're walking into a world where chief has a very different connotation.
Hey,
It's meant very
want me to
different. And
tell
they're
you-
the first ones to get angry. But then I say back to them, why weren't you angry when you were in high school and you played for the Indians? Well, because we all were. It's still wrong.
You want me to tell you a success story
Yes.
in one of my classes?
Yes.
When that she's not in.
Wow, there is a class?
Yeah. It's actually my mascot class. And one of my former taking a class, and this was interesting because I remember the first time he was in the intro class, we talked about mascots, and he was like, I'm part Native, and I'm like really what? Because he looked
Caucasian.
yeah, and I said, really, what tribe? I was expecting him to say
Cherokee.
I was. And he says, my great grandmother's Omaha. I'm like, really? Oh, very good. Who do you? And he didn't know, and so I took the
Who
chance.
doesn't know their people?
No, a lot of people don't. But over the course of the semester, I started calling him nephew, and oh yeah, here's what and then I always tell the story about the Don Chico and the Latinos, and the relocation story, with parents meeting at the Tropicana, that kind of stuff. And and at the end of the semester, I told him, I said, after I told that story, I said, how did your because sounding name. I said, so how did your great-grandmother meet up with this German guy? He said, I don't know. I said, that's your assignment to ask. And I don't know, my final paper, I said, tell me what you know about what you learned there. I asked my great-grandmother, and she said she met him at the Tropicana for polka night.
Oh.
And I was talking to him today, and we were talking about that, and he was saying, I was kind of quizzing him a little bit more. I said, so what did your great grandma think? He goes, oh man, she was so impressed. She said, where did you learn that at? He goes, class I'm taking. What kind of class teaches that? And he said, Native American Studies class. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know they taught about the early. I said, I said, yeah, it comes from your personal experience. And he went on to explain that, he was talking to her. She great grandmother married German, great grandpa was German, and essentially did what the relocation wanted us to do, was to assimilate. And said, yeah, she doesn't have much contact with family. Never talked. He said, I didn't even know I was Indian until 2 years ago.
Which
And
really
he also
surprises me.
said, he's also telling about his other cousins and stuff that don't know either. And I said, you're an example of how federal policy, the Great Experiment, worked, because they were successful in having, that line dispersed, and now it's forgotten. No one knows. I said, now it's your duty, your responsibility. His class project for the mascot
So
class,
was the mom Indian or the dad
his great grandmother.
was Indian?
Yes.
Because usually if the dad is native and the mom is white, you generally grow up a little bit more along the assimilation lines. But if the mom is Indian and the dad is white,
Because we're a
she ju-
patriarchal society.
Well, she pretty much stays with her family, her sisters, her cousins, her aunties, her moms.
But
So
he said
usually those
there was
kids are all
was
raised.
like a total break. And he
Because
said
she
they-
married a white guy,
Yeah.
probably.
And I told him his assignment. I said, remember in my class, I always give you guys an assignment project to do. I said, your project is to go back to your great grandmother. I said, now you need to find out who your relatives are. I said, you need to find out who your people are. And I said, because to me, the mascot class is all about identity. That we're not mascots, we're more than that. We're about people, family. And I said, so your project here is your people.
Cool.
And you report back to me. And I said, your great grandmother is going to love you, because you're going to have to go talk to her now. And he goes, oh yeah, I'll totally do that.
And she's alive.
Yeah, she's like,
How cool is that?
she's like in her 88, 89 years old. And he said both of the grandparents or great grandparents are living. And so I thought it was really cool in that was, like I said, that was a prime example of the policy working as was designed. And now I said the same thing kind of goes for me, although it's taken a little bit, because my grandkids aren't eligible for enrollment. And I don't know if any of my kids will marry Omahas or even tribal members, and within a generation or two, but at least I think they know who they are, or what, so that.
That's why I'm all for registration
See,
by
but
lineal descent.
I am too, but for him, it was, like I said, it wasn't. He said it wasn't until 2 years ago that he was actually told he was native.
And isn't that amazing? Because my experience was the complete opposite. I remember my grandpa never once used my dad's name. He called him Honky. Honky, pass the honky some salt. Pass the honky some pepper. Honky,
See, you
honky,
can
honky.
use that, but you can't use. That's
It was
that's
wrong.
A racial.
And I would ask Dad, does it bother you? And he'd say, I'm paying for that refrigerator that we're eating out of and that stove we're eating off of. So no, it doesn't bother me that he calls me Honky. And I thought, okay, I got you. Speaking of that, oh, sorry, Sarah, it is 4:20. We have to head out because my little girl has to be at her other job.
How come we have to head out?
Cause she's driving us.
See, she's fine.
It's 4:20. Let's go.
Did we even name a knucklehead?
Yeah, we did.
Rapid
of
City,
Rapid.
the entire city. I don't know if I want to name
those
all of
parents,
Rapid City.
The group of people who were drunk and picking on children.
Okay, that's good enough.
Next week, let's see if
So
any
they beat
charges.
Oklahoma?
They beat Oklahoma.
Yeah, see? University of Oklahoma, they're no good, right? No good, huh? You're done being a Boomer Sooner fan, aren't you?
Daryl Wells.
Oh,
is,
that's
they
like-
are- They are. Daryl Wells is always trying to anger me by putting Oklahoma Sooner stuff on my Facebook page. My dad will come out of his grave, or off my living room counter where he is residing at this moment, and snatch me both.
What about you, Gretchen? OU fan? Okay. I don't care. Did we have an Indian of the week?
Okay, Gretchen has an Indian of the week.
Who did what?
Horatio Alger
From
Award.
Pine Ridge? We couldn't find any locals here? No?
There are quality enrolled lawyers up there.
Who's saying that?
Chris, Channel.
Is he trying to take some work from me? Come on, man. You're gonna want to be employed around here one of these days. Jeez, Chrissy.
I'll put there will be when you're up there.
Oh yeah, we want to ship them out, don't we?
Well, you know, if you want to be a native lawyer, best place to do it, be on the res.
No, they don't want you there.
I will.
Somebody. What about? You know who I thought? It's kind of early, but Bronson Koenig.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, you have.
No, you haven't.
He's a starter for the University of Wisconsin basketball team.
I could care less about basketball.
You didn't care about Shoney and Jude Schimmel?
Yeah.
Well, they're basketball players.
Is this kid an Indian?
Yeah.
Well, then I would care about him if I knew.
What do you think I'd nominate him for Indian of the Week if he wasn't Indian?
I wasn't sure where you were. You know, 90% of the time I just flow wherever you're going.
She's the river.
I'm the river this year.
She's the river.
So you were going, I was just flowing along with you. I had no idea what this was about, where it was. Anything
You know
that-
what? I probably shouldn't say this about Knucklehead of the Week. Supporting Oklahoma.
She's my Valentine. Back off.
All right, we got to be educated.
Well,
Yeah,
folks,
we'll see you next week.
thank you
before
very much.
summer's out.
Again, hopefully from the beautiful CEC, unless they listen to the show and kick us out.
Oh, they figure out that we're bringing food in here. We're allowed to bring pizza in here. Okay,
Hey,
we're safe.
woo!
All right, well, we'll see you.
Thank
next
you,
week.
and we'll see y'all.
Papa says bye.
And happy early birthday.
Her birthday's tomorrow, isn't it? I was right.
See, it's today was Meredith's birthday.
And I said, no, it's not. It's tomorrow. Oh, no, wait. Shall I sing happy birthday to her?
Yes.
Okay. I'm trying to sing.
Sarah,
man.
Ed's trying to
You
sing
guys
there.
can join with me if you want to. Happy birthday to you. Happy to you. Happy birthday, dear Meredith, who's 21. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Meredith.
That's your present. That's all you're getting.